Good morning, students. It's me Sudarshan sir. Today we are going to deal with computer science. Okay. Next topic, computer data. The ALU of computer can only do addition, subtraction and comparison of numbers. You know ALU very well, arithmetic and logical unit. What does it do? It just does arithmetic, which is nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and logical, like comparison of two numbers, comparison of three numbers. Okay, these things it does. So ALU does arithmetic and logical calculations. Okay. It can only deal with numbers. So all these things are what? Numbers. So ALU can deal with only numbers. Hence, all information going to the CPU is coded in numeric format. Where is ALU actually? It is a unit of central processing unit. It is a part of central processing unit, CPU. So it is a part of processor. It's a part of a processor. Okay. So whatever the information you're giving, it is going in the processor in the form of what? Numeric format, number format only. Since the ALU knows only number, whatever the instruction you give to the computer, it goes in the number format only. Okay. The result of the processing is also numeric. Now it goes in numbers. So what the result will be? It will also be only in numbers. The general thing what they have explained in this is nothing but, we know languages like English and Tamil and so on. Does the computer know languages? No, it knows only numbers. So they have told whatever the input you give, it will go into the CPU's ALU as a number only. Okay. However, this is again converted into text, numbers, pictures or sounds that can be understood by human beings. It will go inside by numbers. It will do all the calculation and show and process the result in numbers. But those processed result is again converted into human readable form. Means text, numbers, pictures or sound that can be understood by human being. Okay, inside the computer everything will be processed in numbers only. I will say what is that number. That is nothing but 0 and 1 only. But while it comes to the information, while it comes to the user end, like while we see the output device, it will show us pictures, text, sound and so on. Okay. Inside it will process only 0 and 1. But outside it will show text, picture, sound, everything. Okay. The numeric data that digital computer understand is the binary form. The number that a digital computer understand. Okay, the data that a digital computer understand is just a binary form. What is binary? That 0 and 1. Zeros and ones are binaries. Okay, 0 and 1. That is nothing but binary code or binary number system or binary format. Okay. The word binary means two. Binary means two. You could have learned in English. Math. The word binary means two. The computer understand only two symbols. The computer understand only two numeric symbols, number type symbols. What are those? 0 and 1. The computer understands only 0 and 1. All the data has to be converted into binary number system for it to be processed by the computer. So whatever the input you give, it is to be whatever the data or the input, whatever you give into the computer, it is to be converted into number system, which is nothing but 0 and 1. Only then the computer will understand what is the data. Because the computer knows what language? Only the binary language. Okay. This number system is unlike the decimal number system we normally use. This is not the number system that we normally see in our daily life, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and all. The binary system is useful in the computer because the computer consists of millions of electronic switches. The binary, it doesn't know the number system which we normally use. The 0 to 9 we use now. All these numbers is number that it doesn't know. It knows only 0 and 1. Which means if it is 0 means it is off. 1 means it is on. I will explain how. The binary system is useful in a computer because the computer consists of millions of electronic switches. What a computer consists of? A computer consists of memory chip. Okay. In that memory chip, what will be there? Millions of electronic switches. Millions of electronic switches. It will be switch means don't think very big one. They have named it as switches, but it is a small, very tiny things. Okay. Millions of switches that can either have current flowing through them or current not. It will current not flowing through them. It will have that switch means what? For example, they have said that, but actually the electricians meant it as switch. So we will also learn it as switch only. It consists of millions of small switches. Either the current will flow through it or it will not. That is the purpose of switch, right? That is what also happening here. These two states, on or off, are used to represent the number 1 and 0 respectively. Now we will understand why the computer knows just 1 and 0. Because if the current flows through that, the computer will understand the number as 1. If the current doesn't flow through that, the computer will understand the number as 0. Okay. By this way only it will analyze the data. It will analyze each and every characters, each and every numbers, each and every letters and each and every words. That will be explained below. All the information in the computer is in the form of these electronic switches. This is what I told. All information in the computer is in the form of these electronic switch. Whatever the information is, whatever the data or whatever the information you store, it will be stored in the form of these electronic switch only. And hence the coding system has two symbols is used, and hence for the means what? Only two symbols are used to store all those information. Okay. Instructions and data fed to a computer, whether numeric, alphabetical or special character, is coded in binary format. Whatever the instruction given to a computer means data like videos, movies, music, pictures, whatever the data you give to the computer, for you it is picture, movie, something, but how it will be stored? It will be stored in the form of binary format. If you press some alphabeticals A, B, C, D in a keyboard, if you give some special character, all these you will type, it will show you a special character and alphabet only. But for the computer processor, it will be converted into binary format. What format? Binary format, only 0 and 1. Because the computer knows, that's all. The computer knows on or off only. The computer, that millions of switches in memory chip, it knows only on and off only. If it is on, 1. If it is off, 0. That's all the computer can understand. Okay. Or the chip can understand. You can take whatever the way you want. These are binary digits called bits. I told no, each and every switches are binary digits. Zeros and ones. Switch means what? Either off or on. So the zeros and ones. Those are millions of switches are what? Binary switches only. Binary digits only. 0 or 1. Because either it will be off or on. So each and every binary digits are called bits. What? This one, bits. Okay. A group of 8 bits is called a byte. A series of byte is a binary code. Now you may confuse. Now I told each and everything is a bit. Each and everything are switches. The switch will be either 0 or 1 because 0 means off, 1 means on. Okay. Now, what is bit? Because each and every switch is also called bits. Okay. The binary digits are the codes. Either 0 or 1, either the switch, either on off thing. Everything is actually called as what? Bits. B-I-T-S. Bits. Okay. Now it means what? The computer chip has millions of bits. You can say like that. Either switches you can say, else you can say bits. Okay, it has millions of bits, but in that million, this million is categorized into many 8 groups. Group of 8 bits, many 8-bit groups. Each and every 8-bit group is called as byte. Now did you understand? Okay, these millions of bits or switches is categorized into 8 bits or 8 switches. These 8 bits is called as one group of 8 bit is called as byte. So next group, next byte, next group, next byte. Okay, okay. A series of byte is the binary code. Okay, next. We also measure computer storage in terms of bytes. Yeah, computer storage is measured in the terms of byte only, depending on how many switches are there in a chip. The computer storage is decided. If you have millions of chips, according to that the storage is decided. If you have billions of switch, according to that storage is decided. For example, if it is 10 GB, the switch will be in millions. GB, gigabytes. Do you remember? The computer storage is in the terms of bytes, gigabytes. If your computer has 256 GB, you know that. Most of your computer will be of 256 or 512 GB, right? If your computer have 256 GB, then what does it mean? It means in that memory chip, how many switches are allocated? Billions of switches are allocated. If it is 512 GB, then how many switches may be allocated? Billions of switches may be allocated in that memory chip. Those switches are called bits. So millions of bits are allocated. Okay, each 8 bits form a byte. So that is how finally it is represented as byte. The group of switches, the group of 8 switches form a byte. That is how memory storage is allocated in the form of byte. Now I hope you could have understood. One more explanation is given. If it is that, you will understand little more clearly. The binary code and the computer languages. We will see how the binary code works. Means how the computer language works. Both are same actually. Think 2 bulbs with switches. Just think now. Imagine. Think 2 bulbs with switches. These are the bulbs. Okay. It is possible to have 4 different patterns here. It is really possible. If you have 2 bulbs, what are those? In 2 bulb, what can you do? Either 2 also can be off. In pattern 2, what is 1 can be off and 1 can be on. Next, the other one can be on and the next one can be off. Finally, both can be on. Now you see clearly, off, one is off, one is on, the other one is on and the other one is off, on. So 4 pattern is possible only with 2 bulb. Now we will see in the binary type in terms of zeros and ones. Now compare this and see. Off means 0 0. I told now switch is off means it represents 0. Off on means 0 1. On off means 1 0. On means 1 1. Okay, that is how the binary digits are represented with the help of zeros and ones. Okay. Thus, with 2 bulbs there are 4 patterns possible. Just with 2 bulbs, how many patterns possible? 4 patterns possible. With 3 bulbs, obviously 8 patterns are possible. If you are free, just try it over. If you have a group of 8 bulbs, if 8 bulbs are there, how many different patterns can be made? Mathematically, we can have 2 to the power of 8 patterns, which is nothing but you can make 256 patterns like this, zeros and ones. 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 like this. How many patterns you can make? 256. I'll think that as example. Maybe first 8 bulb may be switched off, then 1 bulb may be switched on, then the next 1 bulb may be switched on. Like that, how many patterns is possible? 256 patterns are possible if you have 8 bulb. Okay. Thus, if 8 bulbs are used in and each pattern is used to represent one character, it is possible to represent 256 different characters. Now we will go for the language. Till now you saw about the patterns, how it can be made. Now go for that bits or that switches. If it is grouped into 8 bulbs, I mean 8 switches or 8 bits, now you think how many characters can be represented? 256 characters can be represented in one 8 group bit. Okay, either A or B or C, like the 256 characters can be represented in one byte, not bit, in one byte, in one 8 group of bits, 8 group of switches. How many possible? 200 and different characters are possible. Each character will represent by a unique patterns of zeros and ones. Each character will be represented by a unique pattern of zeros and ones. That is, there will be a unique binary code for each. Means how? Thus, now if a character A to Z, a small to small z, 0 to 9 and special symbol can be represented as a binary code, then definitely words and sentence can be written in the terms of zeros and ones. See, till now what we saw, it is categorized into 8 switches. 8 switches form a byte. It is categorized into 8 switches or 8 bits. 8 bits form a byte. Okay, in that 8 bytes, in that 1 byte or 8 bits, what you can store? You can store one character. What you can store? You can store one character, either A or B or C or D. Else, like that, either alphabets or 1, 2, 3 numbers or special characters or symbols. You can store anything in a group of 8 bits. Okay. Then, if you have millions of 8 bits, how many characters you can represent? Okay. That easily you can make a sentence or you can make words. Till now we saw about letters. Then finally, if you have millions of switches, what you can do? You can represent a word. You can represent sentence. You can represent paragraph. That is what they told. Now it is now if a character A to Z, small a to small z, 0 to 9 are special symbols can be represented as binary code. If these can be represented as binary code, then definitely words and sentences can be written in the terms of zeros and ones. Okay. This language of zeros and ones is the machine language. So what the zeros and ones represent? It represent machine language, binary language or machine language. Okay. For digital computer only we will be using these numbers. Analog computer numbers will not be used. Analog computer is a different topic. We don't want to see about that. Digital computer, what will be used? Only numbers, which is nothing but zeros and ones only. Okay. You have already read about machine language in your earlier classes. In your 6th standard, you could have really learnt about that. If A means what will be the pattern, if B means what will be the pattern, that you could have learnt. Wait, I'll show you. I don't know whether you remember or not, but wait, I'll show you. This one. The number 1 represented by 00001. Number 2 represented by 000010. Number 1 is represented in this 8 bit. Number 2 is represented in this 8 bit. How they have shown here? 000001 means it represents 1. 0000010 means it represents 2. If for letter A, this is for numbers. For letters 10000001 means it represents A. Okay, like that we have a set of bits for each and every letters. So by using many switches or many bits, what you can do? You can represent words, paragraph and everything whatever you want. Fine? Okay, that's it. Next. You have already read about machine language in your earlier classes. Yeah, in 6th standard you learned. That is what the notes I showed you now. You may also remember that it is not easy to work with machine language. See, is it easy to work with the 0 and 1? For learning itself, it is confusing. Then think while you work with that, while you do experiment with that, it will be very hard to understand. It is easy to make mistake by putting 0 instead of 1. If you do the calculation, when you have just try this zeros and 1 pattern by referring internet. If you forget, just refer the internet and try doing by yourself. What you will do at any situation, what you may do, for 0 you may put 1, for 1 you may put 0. Then what happens? That word repression will be wrong. May be wrong, right? It may be wrong, right? Yeah, it will be wrong. If you put wrong, it will be wrong. Okay. So to overcome that, what they have found, the difficulty of working with machine language led to that. For our purpose, if zeros and ones are working for a few letters, it is hard. Means think the engineers, they'll be working for to store many and many datas with the zeros and 1. Is it really easy? No, it is really hard. To overcome that, what they have did, the difficulty of working with this machine language led to the development of programs that can convert an instruction given in a language closer to English into machine code. Now, to overcome this 0 and 1 problem, they have introduced something called languages. They have introduced something called languages which are closer to English. These are also language only. These are also machine language only. But they have found a new languages after the machine language. New means not now. After the machine language, one new language was found which is closer to English language. Which is there will only zeros and ones will not be there. There will be languages which are closer to English. Okay. That language, whatever the program you want, you can type in that programming language. We actually call it as programming language. Okay, there you can type everything whatever you want. Then that language will be converted into machine code, because machine only understands zeros and ones only. But you don't want to type in the zeros and ones now. Now you just type the program in these programming languages. So finally it will be converted into the machine code. Who will convert it? These programs are known as translators. It is known as translator. The converting process is known as translator. The language closer to English are high-level languages. Okay, the language, since these programming languages are closer to English, right? So it is called high-level languages. Why it is called high-level language? High means don't think high level, means don't think hard level. It is easy to understand and easy to be a programmer. You can easily learn these languages. These are nothing but C, C++, Java. Those are what? Programming languages. You can give programs in that. By using that program, the computer will operate. Okay? If you confuse, don't worry. You will study deeply in your higher classes. Just know about that. C, C++, Java, all those things. What you will do? You will give instructions, or you will give programs in that. According to the program, the computer will perform a certain task, right? Okay, so that is called what language? Programming language. These languages, C, C++, Java, all those things are COBOL, Fortran, all those things are what language? High level language. Why? Because it is easy. Why it is easy? Because all those language you can give program in the words like English, which is closer to English. It is not necessary to give in zeros and ones. Okay, you can give in English, so it is called high level language. But this machine language now, it is called as low level language, because it is hard to do that process with the help of zeros and ones. But here it is called high level language because it is closer to English, so easily you can do a program in it. And according to your program, the computer will do a certain task, right? Okay. The translator that translate high-level languages are interpreters and compilers. These interpreter and compiler, what they will do? This one, interpreter and compiler. This is the main thing which you want to know. What they will do? You have typed in English language now. You have typed in English language in a programming language. This interpreter and the compiler will convert this into this machine language and will send to the processor. The processor only will do that, and it will send and it will store in the processor. Why? Because the computer understand only this language. You may work in this program, but that machine understand only machine language. So this interpreter and compiler, what it does? It again converts the program what you typed into the zeros and ones, and the machine will execute it. That's all. Okay. Compiler. Now we will see about this compiler and interpreter. That's all. The class is over. Compiler. A compiler translates a complete program written in high-level language into machine code and saves it for future use. This compiler, what it does? You are writing on program in programming language now. In each and every programming language like C, C++, this compiler will be there. Okay, in few programming language compilers will be there, and few other interpreters will be there. Okay, in C, C++ and all, this compiler is there. What is the work process of it? A compiler translates a complete program written in high level language, in English, closer to English language, that is called high level language, right, into machine code. I told you now, that is the work of these two. Whatever the program you have written in that language, programming language like C, C++, this compiler, what it does means, after writing the whole program, it will convert it into the machine code, zeros and ones. Okay, this converted program is called object code. This process, this converted program process, that program is called object code. The object code can be executed whenever desired. The users have just to run this. Means that object code, that converted process, it is stored. The converted data or the converted program or the object code will be stored. You can say anything. That will be stored. So you can use whenever you want. Okay, that is compiler. Next, interpreter. An interpreter performs the same function as the compiler. It will also do the same thing. That will convert the English words into machine words. That's all. But in different way. What is that way? The interpreter translates and executes it before translating the next instruction. Means in a program, what you in a programming language, what you will be writing? Each and everything is instructions. You will be writing many instructions. The compiler, what it will do, after completing the whole instruction, it will compile. But interpreter is not like that. Okay, it will interpret in each and every instruction. Means if you complete the first instruction, it will execute. And you will start typing the next instruction, and if you complete the next instruction, next will be executed. Third instruction, third will be executed. It will go like this. But compiler, after writing fully, it will compile in a stretch. But this is not like it will compile in each and every instructions. Okay, this translation process is done every time the program is executed. Each and every time when you execute the program, first instruction, then second instruction, third instruction, it will complete one instruction, go to the next one, complete next one, complete next one. Not like compiler. Compiler means it will do in a single stretch. Okay. Hence, the interpreter does not create any object code. Since it goes from each and every instruction, it does not save it as an object code. It will not save for the future use. Okay, that's all. QBasic and Logo that you have learnt are interpreter based languages. QBasic, I hope you learnt in 7th standard. Else you will learn in 8th also. And Logo in small class you would have learnt. That have learnt are interpreter based. Those are what based? Interpreter based. Actually, comparing to interpreter, compiler is a best process. It will do everything in a stretch. Okay, that's all, students, for today's class. You just came to know the basics of programming, and you just came to know about computer datas. Okay, I hope you understand. If you don't understand, no worries. Just stop this video, play from the in between or from the beginning where you don't understand. Then again see. Beyond that, if you have any doubt, just text to my number. That's all, no issues. Okay. I hope that you took your pencil and marked the important things. Else, if not, mark the important things, because you have completed the class, right? Now you know what are the important things, right? Or the important things, and take a photocopy and send in the group. Next, what will be the homework? Just study this topic, computer data. Okay, that will be the homework. Okay, students, have a happy day. Bye. Take care.